So welcome everyone for this third webinar organized by the DIREKTION project. This time we will be working and presenting with the COLLARIS network as well, and several partners of the COLLARIS network. The topic for this third webinar is about drones in emergency response, the air traffic management issue. And for this webinar, we will have several speakers who will, with us, address this topic. My name is Olivier Salvi. I am the coordinator of the project called DIREKTION, which is a network for disaster resilient society. Today we will have Martin Nekula as the first speaker, then colleagues from Poland, from the COLLARIS network. So Mrs. Anna Kapdzieszka from Polish Academy of Science, Jakub Ritenko from the Space Research Center from Poland, and Maciej Boczarczyk from the Polish Air Navigation Service Agency, and Nicolas presenting the solution provided by TypePoint. So the presentation will be in the order as presented in the agenda. So we will have first the view from the emergency responders, the perspective from the emergency responder. And then we will have the COLLARIS colleagues speaking about where is the state of the art in terms of research, in terms of technological issue, and also organizational and air traffic management issue. We will have the presentation from PANSA, providing the perspective from the navigation service provider in Poland. And as I said earlier, Nicolas will present the solution developed by TypePoint Drone Services. At the end of this webinar, we will have the opportunity to take the questions that will be posted in the chat. So please use the Q&A part in this webinar to post your question, and we will address them at the end of the presentation. Just a few words about the organization of this webinar. We are working in partnership with the DRS Stakeholder Hub, which is a disaster risk management hub under CMINE. This hub enables to have in one place information about many projects, many resources dealing with disaster risk management. You see also on this slide that the interest to have this hub is to not only work or have information, receive information about one project, but it's a cluster of projects. We have more than 40 projects which are presenting their results, informing about their activity in this hub, and what we are presenting today will be also available in this hub. So I invite you to look at this DRS hub to get more information on the topic of disaster risk management. So some few words about the DIREKTION initiative, DIREKTION project. So this is a network that has started in 2023. Our objective is to enhance and promote the innovation among rescue organization, emergency organization. The project is focusing on identifying gaps, capability gaps for emergency responder, to look at possible solutions that exist or that should be developed, and then we create an environment so that the new solution can be developed. And if we find some interesting solutions that are already available, we try to promote this solution using, for instance, the webinar as we do today. We have many activities in the project. We try to coordinate the consortium, the activity inside the consortium with other projects, and promote, as I said, the innovation uptake. So this project is financed by the European Commission, and let's continue with with the webinar. I would like here to welcome our first speaker, who will take over the control, Martin Nekula, who will present the emergency responder perspective.
Hello, Olivier. Hello, Bastian. Hello, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear firefighters, dear colleagues. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Martin Nekula, and I come from the Czech Republic, the city of Ostrava. The city is near the borders with Poland and Slovakia. And in my regular job, I am responsible as a Deputy Chief Fire Officer for Fire Rescue Service of Moravian Silesian region. This organization is including more than 1,000 employees. So in that region, it's very interesting to cooperate with firefighters and also to be deployed at the scene if it's necessary. In international level, I am also cooperating with CTIF and FEU, and I am responsible for Czech Association of Fire Officers. This is the reason why we cooperate with these projects, and I am proud to be part of that. For the introduction, I would like to start with my presentation. And in fire rescue service, we depended on a large amount of technical equipment for firefighters. You can see more than 350 pieces of equipment we need on first response car. But sometimes it's not enough, because we have to be able to read comprehensive solution in many events. We have to support command and control in the event and in many emergency situations. This is the reason why we would like to use also drones in that situations. And this is also the reason why we would like to discuss what is the better for us sometimes and think about the future, which systems should be implemented for fire rescue services to also support firefighters at the scene. But we have to also accept legislation regarding Czech law and also restrictions, guidelines. Sometimes it's necessary to accept also documents of providers, which are necessary to be accepted during the emergency flights within fire rescue service. You can also see that we have to be able and prepare to have firefighters who can provide drones with all certifications, also accept theoretical exams, and also mandatory current training and flight records. Also, the training and equipment should be prepared for that. Deploying is necessary to prepare by specialists for that. In that time, we centralized drone service at Central Fire Station in the city of Ostrava, and this equipment is stored in one special car, which we support on deployment of units and use that, but from the city of Ostrava only. This is the reason why we think about the future Unix system, which can support also drones and other robotic systems in other fire rescue services in Moravian Silesian region also. Now we mainly use the drones for scanning, for example, for 3D visualization or making pictures from the scene. In the Czech Republic, we have 14 regions, and drone service is focused in many ways. You can see that there are different types to use them, different possibility to be supported by drones in the scene, and also the leading and commander in the scene has different type of using these drones. These 14 regions in the Czech Republic are divided, and the reason why we would like to complete some Unix system for transmission to be connected across all regions is that we would like to use outputs of that drones into one place and be able to have a picture from the scene, support the scene by firefighters and also other equipment and trucks, for example, and see how things do better, because it's of course better that if you have got the other eyes to see what happens at the scene. But the reason why we do that all together is that we provide system which we can hawk. It means that we would like to provide hawk system in the Czech Republic, and this is complex facility system for full area situation overview for commanders, and also not only commanders but also investigators, of course, of cause of the fire if they need to research something or think about what happens at the scene. And this system we call Hawk is a unique system for us to be prepared not only for supporting commanders at the scene when the fire is burning, for example, but also after that when we need to know something about reasons why the fire was caused or details which can bring that idea what was the right reason of that fire. I would like to show you also the examples of that using, not only in the Czech Republic, but sorry, not only in the region, but also in the Czech Republic. And the first of that example is using drones during the industrial fire. When we needed the complex opportunity to see the picture of the area of the fire, and also to thermal localization, roof and elevation inspection. This is the main reason how we can use drones during that fires when the place is so huge and big that it's not able to provide that scene by firefighters in one time in many places. So this is the reason why we use drones more often, and we would like to do that more often for the future. The second example is that we use drones, for example, for search missing persons. This is the operation we use this drone for missing person, and we would like to localize the person in area, and it wasn't able to do that by firefighters and policemen at the scene. We would like to use drone for that, focusing on that person, navigation, thermal detection, and wide area mapping. The third of that examples is using during the floods we had in the Czech Republic, and there were so many possibilities to use drones that we monitoring the water levels and flow dynamics, for example, navigation support for rescue boats and firefighters at the scene, and also to have a rapid aerial assessment of affected zones. These are, for example, few reasons why we have to use drones when units are deployed at the scene. Key benefits for fire rescue service are visible in several areas, but what is the next step for us is to be able to increase that support, for example, also with ground robotic system. This is something what we are thinking about and have been working on that these days. This decision opens up many challenges for us. We have been working across these challenges and try to reach main goal with autonomous system of drones and also ground robotic systems in one application to proceed them in deployment of fire rescue service at the scene. You can see the picture, what is the idea, how to prepare this system for national level in the Czech Republic, and think about how we can manage not only drones, but also ground robotic systems, for example, firefighting robot, reconnaissance robot, transport robot, but also we have been testing underwater robots. And the idea is that only one person or commander could be responsible for that reading of this equipment and have a feedback from the scene to have an overview about the situation. That unique concept can bring us added value in some kind of purpose, different types of drones and robotic system in one unified structure. We know about that should be very good prepared, and it's not possible to do that without some thinking about step by step. And what does it mean for us for the future? That we would like to divide different levels for that. The first level will be the responsibility of fire stations and district teams, and be able to use drones and robotic system in a first level by every firefighters at the scene when they are deployed on really local level. The second one is regional level. It means that there is a specialized team for supporting HAWK integration system. It means setting and connecting and sharing data from the scene to the unique HAWK system. For the special prediction for supporting commanders and also investigators at the scene. And the third level means that we would like to use that system on a national level. It means that responsibility of methodology training, equipment standards, and also coordination on national level. For that concept, it's necessary to say that the main goal of that is unified framework for evaluation, have a possibility to testing and also practical implementation in fire rescue service before we would like to use that system as a unique system for national supporting different regions in the Czech Republic. This is something what we have been working on that, and I'm really glad that I have to also possibility to discuss with colleagues from DIREKTION projects and other specialists, because we know about that this step can bring the future possibility of unique system for the Czech Republic. So it means that we are also very focused on some discussions, cooperations with providers, testing robotic systems in the Czech Republic, mainly in fire rescue service of Moravian Silesian region, and have a very good feedback for the future incoming of that system, and also think about if there are some obstacles to use, for example, products from China or not, and discuss what is the best idea to bring robotic systems for fire rescue services in the Czech Republic. So thank you for that possibility to have a presentation here. And here is my conclusion, and very thanks to all. Thank you, Olivier.
Thank you very much, Martin. I think it's very inspiring to have your messages as an officer from emergency responder, with the perspective what are the different benefits of having this kind of technology, the drone technology, and to combine it with other solution, robotic solution. It's very interesting, and I have seen already some question or some remark in the chat, in the Q&A question and answer part, so that we will address later. But I think your experience and your way of seeing the organization of the use of drone is very inspiring for other colleagues, and this is what we expect. Thank you so much. Now we will continue with Anna and Jakub, who are representing the COLLARIS network. So they will take over the control and go to the next slides, and they will give us the situations, or they will share with us the situation regarding the research in the field of using drones for emergency response. So please, Anna, take the floor.
Thank you, Olivier. Thank you very much for inviting us as the COLLARIS network to participate in this very interesting webinar. And I will start with the introduction of the network as such, and then Kuba will present the results of our drone foresight study. But I can already say that you will see a lot of similarities between the perspective and plans formulated by the colleague from the Czech Republic and the results of our foresight study. So you will see that there are indeed a lot of similarities. So very briefly, COLLARIS network, why we decided to create that. Our objective is to stimulate a wider and more complex use of drones in crisis management and civil protection. We believe that technical capabilities offered by the drones are not yet fully exploited. And we want to bridge this gap by sharing experiences and lessons learned from the use of drones. We want to support the development of skills, knowledge, and competences, both among institutions, but also individual experts. And last but not least, we would like to formulate some recommendations towards the EU, towards national authorities, how to better support the development and the use of drones in the civil protection services. How do we do it? Well, by organizing and participating in workshops, webinars, conferences. We offer trainings and virtual simulations, but sometimes it is good to be able to test your ideas, solutions, and procedures during real field trials, and we do that in COLLARIS as well. We carry out some research activities and various actions aimed at, as I said, supporting for the uptake of lessons learned. The main thematic areas of our activities is sharing the operational practices in the most, let's say, common use cases for the drones, such as wildfires, floods, mapping. Different activities aiming at supporting the lessons learned, individual capacity building, and point raised also in the previous presentation, data analysis and data sharing among different stakeholders participating in the emergency situation. So who we are the network of institutions and individuals interested in the use of drones for crisis management, but we want to be more than that. Our long-term ambition is to be a kind of a focal point, facilitating adoption and effective use of drones across Europe, and a kind of distributed knowledge center. So this is our long-term objectives. Hopefully with your help, we will manage to achieve them. And my last slide is a map showing our core consortium partners from several member states, but also quite a high number of associated partners, including DIREKTION network. So with that, I will give the floor to Jakub to present the actual foresight study that we carried out last year. What were the conclusions stemming from that? So Jakub, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. And I assume you see the cover of this research report on the screen. But really, it was even if this was a research, it's research in terms of the very applicable with the application in focus. We really want to formulate the perspective and recommendations which can support implementation of drone solutions in real activities, in real civil protection duties. So the proposal was to look into a perspective of 5 years, identify what might be the most promising applications, and then to see what needs to be done to make them actually implementable, feasible. And the one very general but obviously coming to our eyes observation was the fact that today effective use of drones is really limited by legal and organizational obstacles. It's not the pace of technology development which is slowing this. We have a lot of technologies which could be implemented, but they are not because of those soft factors, the way we are ready or unready to use them, and how the overall ATM, air traffic management system, is also coping to the challenge which they represent. Let me give you a very brief overview of the logic which we implemented. We tried to divide uses of drones into 2 groups, those which are really focused on gathering information, the flying eyes, let's say, and flying robots, all other activities, transportation, firefighting, operational firefighting, everything which is beyond just gathering information. And then we identified 3 main types of activities, groups of activities, which I will try to cover in a moment. Firstly, these are the drones which are first on scene, before the humans. These are either piloted or automatic systems where the drones arrive. They can give you a first reconnaissance before the first responders. They can give you an opportunity to deliver a pack of aid equipment, either defibrillator or survival pack in the mountains or things like that, floating device on water. It can be used. They can be used also to audio population warning. Could offer the 2-way transmission, anything which you can do with the robot itself, not the before the actual people are on scene. However, to make this happen, you really need to be able to effectively conduct the BVLOS flights. You need to have a priority for the blue light flights, not only for state aviation, but for the blue light, in the same way as we have in the road traffic. And what is important in the logic of the air traffic management, we need a very rapid acceptance of flight paths. These are real emergency sorties. This needs to be done within seconds, not minutes. Of course, there is a number of technical solutions which will reach a higher technical maturity, helping GSM-based communication, rapid planning of trajectories, technical readiness for takeoff, hangars, automatic docking stations, these kind of things. But this is actually happening. We see this. This is, again, we could do much more, which what technology is already offering, if we had these initially presented required enablers available, which mostly we do not. However, you will see from Maciek that at least in Poland, we are doing really a lot of effort to try to create the environment to do that. But then let's move to a second family of applications, the first 2 hours, meaning these are the drones which are used in a typical support activities during a normal emergency response situations. This is mainly situational assessment, the damage assessment, monitoring of the response, video transmission, making and providing the images which are geotagged. Any type of decision support. So all those things which were also nicely covered by the colleague before, you give to the commanders and the people on the ground a better understanding what is around, what is the situation, easier to take decisions, how to behave, how to act. It can be also search and rescue operation for people, as well as special sensors, CBRNE, avalanche search, cell phone detection, these kind of things. And for the flying robots, of course, the lighting, the radio retransmitting, the actual fire suppression, transportation of specialized equipment, and an interesting group of applications which might come from the eVTOL flights. If we have more of those, the rapid mobility, high mobility of the first responding teams might be really an important changing factor. But again, to make this happen, we need a number of enablers. And again, air traffic management is a point here. Priority for the blue light flights. Exactly as previously, including in VLOS conditions. We need to identify and give a clear priority to the emergency activities. Then the ability to rapidly establish the air traffic restrictions. Within a few minutes, you need to be able to effectively close the specific area for the emergency activities. And of course, the issue of coordination of the drone flights participating in the emergency activity. The important thing here is that we need operational practices, meaning that the arrangements require the actual dedicated persons taking care of drone activities during the emergency operation. We need the training for incident commanders, so they know what to expect from the drones, what they can get, to be aware of that, but also to be aware of what they can request, how they can use the ability of the drones most efficiently. And of course, the different GIS systems to actually work with data which the drones can deliver. This is something which is still relatively uncomplex, not fully developed comparing to what could be done in the emergency operations. And the number of technical maturity solutions that require or growing technical maturity will facilitate these applications. It's automatic image analysis, data analysis, data transmission, automatic fleet coordination of drones, a lot of more advanced things which are going to happen or are already happening, and this will make these applications even more effective. But again, these requirements, enablers, which I presented before, remain critical. And then the complex operation, the third family, which I will cover today. These are the activities which are conducted at the large scale, normally also a long-term activities. And this is mainly about the keeping and updating ongoing situational awareness, monitoring of the area, detecting changes, conducting specific analysis like the identification of the evacuation route, search for people who remain in abandoned houses, these kind of things. A wide variety of repeatable gathering of information and analyzing them. But then the robots as a non-gathering information area, they can be transporting logistics for rescue and for the people. So this is actually the humanitarian alert, and also eVTOLs again, which if present in the sufficient quantity, they might change, for example, the paradigm of evacuating the population. It will become much more efficient than what is done with a limited number of helicopters, for example. And here the focus with regard to enablers is on the coordination of the drone and human operated aviation flights. As for today, in most countries, this is a no-go. You don't fly drones when the human aviation is flying, which is not necessarily the optimal case. We have countries, including Poland, where this is being done and very efficiently supports the activities. And also the more complex IT systems for data access and data sharing. So whatever the drones generate, that can really be made available to different civil protection entities. Now about the technical maturity. This is a wide variety of data analysis algorithms, including AI analytics, which is really increasing in the, at least the promises are increasing, but quite a number of things are already used. And among the other things, just one which we want to identify, there could be more, these are tethered drones, so ability to conduct a long duration operations continuously. For example, a number of days for a number of hours where you have a permanent over your head observatory flying and providing data for all those applications and processes I explained. Okay, so let's try to summarize this. The key findings, key recommendations are, first and foremost, we need the air traffic management solutions which enable safe drone flights. safe against the non-participating actors, the civilian flights, and also efficient coordination among the members of the emergency institutions, or all institutions involved in emergency operation. Then the AI-based solutions for rapid data processing, for analysis of data, so generating the actual actionable information which efficiently supports the rescue. Of course, this data needs to be shared, so we need also efficient and safe data sharing systems. Then we need the actual organizational arrangements, including the establishment of the roles of coordinator of the drone flights, the flow of information, the analytical chain, all these things which make a difference between the fact that you just have a drone and you actually have the actionable information from the drone being used, or the commander using the drone to conduct some kind of transportation, water, fire suppression, or whatever. This is really about organization, about awareness, and then implementing of the organizational matters. And finally, what we really think is important is the ecosystem supporting, sharing these best practices, introducing innovative uses of drones. So we are not reinventing the wheel among the European players. If someone has a good experience, let's look into this, let's build on this, let's try to repeat it, not making the same mistakes, but just building on the most optimal or most effectively working approaches. And from the air traffic management perspective, just one slide, but the key points. Introduction of the blue light flights priority, not only for the state aviation, for those who are really participating in emergencies, the same way we have in the road traffic. We need to have identified this, and we need to give this priority, but only when it is needed. So it is not overused, but then it is clear for the traffic management institutions and systems that at this moment, these guys really need a priority. Then the ability to rapidly initiate and conduct this blue light priority BVLOS flights. This is something which needs to be implemented in the logic of BVLOS architecture. Ability of the air traffic systems to establish air traffic restrictions. I discussed this already. And then the procedures to actually effectively fly together between the helicopters, planes, and the drones. We have two other interesting points. The one is that we can provide a number of useful information to the air traffic management work, meaning the crisis management entities know about things which can influence the logic of operating the use space, or whatever the intermediate solutions will be created. So whenever we have a public gatherings or riots, the unexpected gatherings of people, which should be avoided by the normal civilian drone flights, this is type of information which can be given from the civil protection system into the air traffic management to make the drone flights more safe for the people or people and ground activities in general. On the other hand, we may need an efficient way to get information from the drone operators to the 112 system to communicate that whenever you have a non-involved drones either observing emergency or present during the emergency close by to the ongoing emergency, we can, for example, request this, just give us 2 minutes of flight, give us a few pictures. It will give us much better understanding of what is going on before we have people on the ground. So these are the interesting interactions. And then finalizing the result of the interaction with the colleagues, actually through DIREKTION project last year, we had asked a few questions about the key challenges, and we got a clear confirmation that indeed it is not. It is the case that it is only a fraction of technologies which are currently used, and the gap between those which are available and are used will be actually growing in the coming years. This is the perception which is shared among the community and I have voiced this as an initial message of this presentation, and also that implementation of the air traffic management solutions is actually considered as one of the most critical issues, that enabling safe drone flights is something which will significantly increase efficiency of drone use for rescue and crisis management activities. And with regard to the key findings and recommendations, the ability to communicate the needs of the civil protection community to the use space architects, to the European legal regulators who are developing a future of drone ecosystem, is something which we are missing. And this is something which I would like to cover in my last message here. We are now discussing with DG ECO of what could be done, how the DG ECO could try to influence the development of the use space and requirements for use space. And that's why we would like to use opportunity for this meeting, or actually this gathering, to contact you afterwards in cooperation with the DIREKTION project, that we would like to conduct a short survey to identify what are your thoughts, which of the obstacles and problems that we are observing you could confirm from your perspective, or maybe not confirm, maybe you have alternative observations or negating. It could be also very interesting to hear. But we really need a kind of a strongly supported by the European community message to the DG ECO. Hey guys, this is really the problem. This is a general perception of the community that air traffic management is a problem in A, B, C, D points, and this and this could be a way forward. And having this kind of message heard, DG ECO is willing to act, but the message needs to be there. So we would like to go through the survey, which you will be getting from us within, I think, maximum 2 weeks, to before the Christmas. Please spend a few minutes, give us this message. It will be really helpful. And then we would like to work out the workshop after Christmas, of course, with DG ECO, where a few experts could be actually presenting the different national perspectives and build the actual case for these Brussels interactions, which could help the future of use of drones for civil protection in Europe. With that, I would like to really thank you. Let's make the drones fly to save lives. This is something which we really want to do with COLLARIS, and I hope that what you heard was interesting. And now I will pass the floor to Maciek Wodarczyk, who will be presenting the Polish way for making drones fly, and also fly to save lives as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jakub, and also thank you very much to Anna, who introduced the COLLARIS network. So this is very, very explicit what you mentioned, Jakub. So this is not the technology, the problem at the moment. We need to get organized, and we need to coordinate ourselves to use this technology for the best, and as you say, to save life. So thank you very much for bringing this message, and we will assist, of course, COLLARIS to get answer to your survey, because I think we need to move fast. There is so much potential, as you have described, that we need to move fast so that this technology become really a great support for emergency responders, and that we can better manage the crisis that we have in front of us. Thank you again, Jakub and Anna. Now let's welcome Maciej, who will present the perspective from PANSA. And we are very curious to see how your organization, Maciej, can assist the development of this technology. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Very good statement said by Jakub. Help drones fly and save lives, because that's the topic of our meeting today. As an air navigation service provider in Poland, PANSA, we are responsible for ensuring air traffic safety, or at least information in uncontrolled airspace. Drones are a very new airspace user, still new. It's not very often that somebody new comes onto the sky with their own set of rules. The scale of their flights is growing very rapidly. That's why for years, together with my team, we've been implementing a range of first procedures. And now that the scale is getting bigger and bigger, a lot of digital tools to make life easier. One thing that I must say, we don't have much influence on the EU regulations, which effectively block flights that we have been performing in our country years before they came. It's also worth noting that in Poland there is a very strong cooperation between PANSA, the Polish air navigation service provider, the Civil Aviation Authority, and the Ministry of Infrastructure, which stands above the two mentioned. I started my journey about 15 years ago at PANSA. I was the only person. Right now we have a team of people in our UAV center. Right now it's about 26 people plus a dedicated, small but still dedicated IT team to develop some of the tools that I will show you for the emergency responders. In Poland, we generally know about flights that are reported to us. That's because there is a mobile application provided by PANSA, and each drone pilot is obliged to inform about their flight, either get permission or inform. That's where we get the numbers, and we can see that the weekly numbers of reported flights vary from about 20,000 up to even over 50,000 per week. Early autumn this year, we broke the number of 1 million reported flights in 2025. When we started to digitalize 3 years ago and we got the numbers, it was 290,000. So I'm not sure if a country can, other countries can say how much are the numbers growing. We can say that, and it's a very important tool for us to manage our tools according to the needs of the users. And I will not charm you and say that everything is perfect in Poland. No, it's not perfect. But I will say that I think we do a lot of important stuff for drones at PANSA. Approved flight plans. What are flight plans? Flight plans is a request for a BVLOS flight or a flight that needs permission from PANSA. PANSA issues permission for flights in control zones. Some countries don't even allow drones to fly in control zones. For those of you who don't know, a control zone is an area around a controlled airport. The numbers of these approved flight plans, this is generally related to the weather. It could be 1,000 a week, it could be 200 a week. We're able to process a couple of thousand a week. That's not a problem for us. We have a dedicated team. I'm still working about extending our office hours, and I think it's time, due to the geopolitical situation, to bring us into 24/7. I think this is what the society, the drone society, is expecting from us. And please remember that I'm from an air navigation service provider. I am financed by airlines, not by the government. In order to manage all this paperwork, all these numbers that I showed you, we've implemented something that is called the National Drone Information System. You may enter it through a website, drony.gov.pl. This is the place that integrates all our digital services, which we are developing, maintaining, and still thinking about a couple of new ones. This is the place where you can register as a drone pilot. This is the place where you can get your basic open category drone pilot license for free. A lot of pilots from the EU come here to get their license for free. This is the place where integrates the services that I will show you. The services dedicated for state services, emergency responders. In Poland, the fire services leads the way, followed by the police, but there is definitely no shortage in drones in other services. And we do have a very close cooperation in helping them to fly. So some of these services. The National Drone Information System, like I said, integrates a number of digital services. Some are available for all civilian users, drone pilots, some for authorized ones, authorized by law, and some for state services. And I would like to focus on the last two. So first tool is dynamic safety and security. It's a tool that's very close to my heart because I used to work at Pansa before the drone topic came. I used to work for airspace management, and I had to deal with a lot of papers to issue public and airspace, publish a NOTAM, a lot of faxes, mails, and all that stuff. Dynamic safety and security is a website where if you are authorized, you can request an airspace reservation. An airspace reservation for manned aviation, for drones, or for both of them. This is very important because we do distinguish these type of restrictions. Not all restrictions are for all airspace users. Some are only for drones. And this works very good with ASA's 947 regulation and the geographical zones. I will talk with them about that in a moment. So generally, dynamic safety and security has a tool for temporary airspace reservations. These are either restricted zones, temporary reserved areas, temporary segregated areas, or geographical zones. Geographical zones are the ones that are restrictions only for drones. That's one tool. It works pretty good. Still new functions coming to this system. And Search and Help supports coordination of UAV flights related to crisis event. It's a tool that we still have under development and further implementation. Generally, the tool should help coordinate flights during a rescue mission because there's a lot of people in place there. Not all of them are aviation guys. This is the tool that helps. The goal was to digitalize, to make. This is what Jakub said. In some cases, and it's half of your success is when you know how to implement a tool. Another piece of your success is that you can digitalize the dynamic world of aviation information, NOTAMs, areas, time of activities, changing heights. Another part of your success, if you know how to show it to people who are not aviation guys. And I think we're doing a really good job. And in 2021, it looked like you see in the picture. Now for those state services who know how to use our tools, and we do really spend a lot of time explaining how to use the tools. Anybody who comes to us and says, hey, we heard you have a tool, we can use this, we can use this, the law says that we can request airspace reservations, teach us how to use this. We teach them how to use this. So month by month, the number of users of these systems increase. In a perfect world, for example, for firefighters, they're able to click on an area that they need just on the way to the place of their job, of their rescue mission. The tool was launched in March 2024, and September 2024 was a very stress test for us. We had the floods in Poland, and the tool performed very well. It was used very, very often by the firefighters. So during just 15 days, 28 restrictions, 5 for drones, 23 for all airspace users. And from the beginning of the year till early autumn, late summer, 231 restrictions when it comes to these are restrictions for all airspace users. So 222 restricted areas and 9 temporary reserved areas. And that's a tool for managing airspace restrictions for all users. But EASA came in with something that is very good. These are geographical zones, because sometimes you don't want to limit the sky for all airspace users. You want to limit them for drones. For example, firefighters are at a highway accident, whatever, and they want to block the area for 4 hours so they don't have onlookers on the place, reporters, all that, all these kind of users that can interrupt, for example, a medical helicopter coming in place. So the EU regulation 947 speaks about geographical zones. I'll show you the article. So we also developed and implemented a tool for managing all these papers when it comes to geographical zones. So this is the baseline for this, Article 15 of EU Regulation 947. In some countries, the Civil Aviation Authority does this job. In Poland, nobody else but PANSA. The reason is very simple. We're the guys who manage the airspace. We have the biggest knowledge here, and we have more staff for this. So this was delegated by the CAA to PANSA, this job. We, in our state regulation, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different type of geographical zones. I can never remember all of them. So the first 3 are restricted with a high, medium, or low probability of obtaining permission for flight. It's a good prediction tool for drone pilots. If you see a low probability area, you will know that you will probably not be allowed to fly there. If you see a high one, you'll know that you probably get approval for flight. Then we have information zones and technical zones where we can say, here you, for example, need a parachute or an ADS-B on board or whatever. One of the unique things is that in the Polish law, the publication of this area is a subject to a fee that is paid to PANSA. Sorry for the letter here at PANSA. I misspelled the name of my company, so that does not look good. Sorry. So either the companies or people who are by law permitted to request airspace restrictions, for example, critical infrastructure, they pay us for this, or for state services, they don't pay us. We receive a subsidy from the state treasury for this job. Like I mentioned before, we are financed by the airlines, so we cannot do all of this for drones from the money that comes from airlines. And that is the problem of every kind of agency in Europe, or probably in the world. Every kind of agency like the one that I come from, the air navigation service provider. Everything that we publish is integrated in a mobile application. For today, it's the Drone Tower application. The Drone Tower application also speaks with our UTM system, so you can go into a two-way nonverbal communication with our air traffic services. The air traffic services, the air traffic controllers on towers, they do use our UTM system. It's not only a system that is installed them, it's an everyday use system. The mobile application also is developed by us. It used to be another application, but we had to develop our application. It integrates all the airspace data. It is maintained, uploaded by us. It includes all the NOTAMs, and of course, it's for free. There's also a very big information campaign right now over Warsaw to check before you fly. When you enter the app, it's very simple. You just zoom in the place where you want to fly, tap on it, and you see what kind of areas are there. And depending on the height that you want to fly and the category of your flight, open door specific or the mass of your drone, you will have the details of the area. And in most cases, the number to the contact person who will grant you permission. If there's no number, that means that you will not get the permission. So thank you very much for your time, for listening. And if you need any information, you can catch me. Here are the details, or you can catch me on LinkedIn or, well, probably LinkedIn. So have a good day and thank you.
Thank you very much, Maciej. So it was really inspiring to see how you organize finally the use of the space to enable and to facilitate the use of drones. So it's I'm sure the experience of Pansa in Poland is very inspiring for many other countries. I wish that each country is so well organized and develops all this support to fly drone efficiently, effectively. Thank you so much. So now I would like that Nicola, you take over the control and you will be presenting the industry perspective in our webinar. So the objective is that you let us know what are the new development in terms of technology for the use of drones, and that you present your company and the solution developed by your company. You managed to take the control, and yes, exactly. So the floor is yours.
Thank you for having us. Very interesting and always very good to be in these discussions. We appreciate it very much. As your introduction said, my name is Nicholas Newhouse. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer at TiePoint, which means that I can go into new technologies and see which way they're going and make them work together. I'd like to just explain a bit what this first slide is, this image. It's an oil exercise out in between Norway and England, where NOFO, which is the Norwegian Clean Seas Association for Operating Companies, a membership organization which cleans up oil if that should happen. They are allowed about every 2 years to drop oil into the sea under very controlled situations. And in this image here, you see that they're testing the current buster and seeing how that picks it up. On the back, you'll see also the rainbow and the sheen coming out behind. We were there also for the exercise to be able to check and gather data for the AI that we have for this. That's always important with all the things which are here, and that's the situational awareness. And this is, like most things, it's preparedness and also stopping things from getting worse. A little fun, or not fun fact, but scary fact is that the price of cleaning up oil from a rocky beach is everything from a few €100 per meter to up to, in Norway, they call it, or say that it's up to €10,000 per meter of beach. So stopping the oil early is very good. This brings us quickly into our history of our company. We started off in 2007 under Airspace, which is owned by the Ministry of Trade and also Kongsberg Group. They shoot up satellites, and Sunt Air, which is the aviation private jets and also preparedness jets for the Coast Guard. And they made a joint venture, which then is drones. So there's a synergy in between having every layer of the airspace. We've got a few world records with first legal BVLOS flights and distances flying over satellites. You see there the large OX plane, which is 2.5 tons of drone, which we were flying. We've got drones which we've made for Airbus certifications for drones going up to 1.3 Mach. And then we come into the drone in the emergency response, where we are the drone providers for NOFO and oil rescue. And now we have also got the EMSA, European Maritime Safety Agency contract. Our company is set up in 3 different parts. This is important for the drone service providers. I must excuse the formatting. We are Google-based, and I sent over the presentation as a Microsoft without checking it too well. But that's preparedness. We have multiple fire brigades flying under us. We are the umbrella of teaching and certifying all the firefighters. So as Martin was talking about earlier, regulations and training is very important. We help with creating a safe space and keeping them up to date with new regulations rather than letting them be firefighters and use the technology. We also have an AI company which is coming up, and also drone support, which is where we've seen, and I think this is a synergy with all the different things here, is that knowledge is important, and we were with on starting the first schools in Norway for the 17, 18-year-olds to take the drone education at school. We're pretty much Europe for oil spill response. As you see here, we've got most of the different places. I'm going to Malta on Monday. I've just been to Portugal. We have people all over. So this is, the drones are here to stay. That's for sure. The incident that we had earlier, or the training that I sort of showed you earlier, was unluckily something that happened on the 1st of January in this year, 2025, where Njord A oil rig spilled out quite a lot of tons of oil, and we have had the biggest drone mission in Norway's history, where we'd flown just under 8,000 kilometers, 2,150 flights, and the oil lumps have been also just under 3,000 finds. These are the areas which are super nature reserves, some of the nicest in Norway, about 5,000 islands at the area, so it was quite difficult. And the oil was of a thickness and Vaseline type that they sunk about 1 to 2 meters under the sea surface. So when satellites were trying to find them, or boats or aircrafts, they couldn't see them because they were submerged. These are what the oil lumps look like. And the problem with this is that it's not very easy for a drone pilot to see this, or people. So having to send out people to every single island of 5,000 would take an extreme amount of resources and time. And many of them have been washed away. You see a few of the flight passes down on the right side. And this is one of these things I would like to emphasize with my presentation. And every country has come very far with drones, and also, like Martin was talking about, with the Hawk and their own systems. We have systems, and we think that it's very important to integrate into the systems that already exist, rather than having systems that you need a new login. So our system integrates into it, and here it's the integrating into NOFO's own NOFO COP, which is common operation picture, and every oil lump was certified or accepted by an expert. So the drone pilot can fly a lot of area, get it analyzed by AI, sent into an expert, and validated. So this is the human in the loop, and that's one of the things which is very important for the AI and emergency responders. After that, we also have been working with ESA, European Space Agency, And this is our exercise, which will show a bit how we have started integrating satellites into the systems. So can I start playing it? Yes.
In the remote Arctic landscapes of Andoya, a landslide has cut off the village of Blake. At the same time, a group of students has gone missing in the rugged terrain, with no communication and harsh weather setting in. Emergency teams mobilize, but this time supported by space-based technologies, drones, and artificial intelligence. Before rescuers enter the field, satellite imagery, including synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, provides a rapid overview of the area. This enables early situational awareness, even through clouds and darkness. Teams gain access to up-to-date maps and terrain changes, allowing them to plan safely and efficiently before deployment. Artificial intelligence analyzes these satellite and drone images, identifying potential areas of interest. Experienced responders review these AI findings, a human-in-the-loop process that combines machine precision with field expertise. Together, they prioritize search zones, focusing resources where the probability of finding missing persons is highest. As rescue units move into the field, they operate with real-time maps and live data streams. Drones, satellite feeds, and ground teams all feed information into a shared platform, giving everyone the same operational picture. This unified situational awareness helps coordinate search and rescue efforts and reduces time spent in uncertain terrain. The ESA exercise at Andoya demonstrates the power of combining satellite technology, drones, and AI for crisis response. It shows that better information and shared awareness can make all the difference, helping responders act faster, safer, and smarter. This is more than innovation. It's about saving lives.
So as you see, 15 minutes is short to do all this, but I'll try as good as possible. This is very interesting and a well set up possibility that we've been able to have with, amongst others, ESA. And this is a glossy, beautiful overview over what we do. Basically, the crisis situation, is it flood, CBRNE, what, or any type of accident, would then be picked up by either any of the sensors. And as you saw on the video, we had quite a lot of weather, so it was actually a realistic exercise, because the day that the satellites flew over was a day that it wasn't possible for any planes or drones to fly. So having the possibility of using SAR, synthetic aperture radar, which is one of the many things that satellites can deliver, and that is something that also can go through clouds, as well as RGB images, which were totally useless with cloud overlay. We could then pinpoint where points of interest were and use the drones to go out. We then put it into our AI human-in-the-loop setup, where we have stars. These are things which actually are working. The part where we're working on now is the layers of the agent team, which can be an incident command helper, helping with all the information to give it at the time that the incident commander needs it. And we are creating a digital twin with weather and moisture and any information that comes in from body cameras, Internet of Things, all type of sensors, which then can go into the decision support and create a common operating picture in the COP. And this is the important part. This is not our COP. This is the customer's own COP. So this is the part of the exercise where the SAR radar was up at Andøya. It's a rather large area. It's 5 by 5 kilometers to be able to make a satellite radar image. But 5 by 5 kilometers twice a day is highly interesting for a situation where you can get a one shot of the whole area. This is our interface, where we have the different moisture index on the back side, where you can also see where people might have walked. depending on if they're sane and the profiles. This is also into the system. And we call this because we have our system in Norway, which is the common operating system for emergency responders, which is FAX. We did not get a API integration for the time that we had before this exercise. So we had to create our own, and just to emphasize that we think that it needs to be in the emergency responders' own software. We call the TypePoint ESA mapping project, which then makes it for temp. Which we thought was very witty and good. And on the right side, you see the human in the loop with the accept and not. Every point then shows where the image has been taken from the drones. This is out in the field on a smart screen. It's been shown out. These are all the flight lines live from the drones, directly from the controllers. Multiple people have this, of course, but this is also a good part where the proof is that you need the common operating picture. So what everyone's trying to achieve is the correct goal and where we're going. And it's to know where the drones are at any time, where airplanes, where manned aircraft is, where they aren't. Being able, like Pansa needs to do, is send out information to drone pilots, to aviation, that you have to land, move away, and then follow the blue light going through, for example. Here is an area which has been deemed as red, where there was actually an accident reconstruction and people being put out on different parts. Basically, our key findings was that satellites are a very important part. For floods and wildfires, anything that needs large areas and has got a big search and rescue benefit if you use it correctly. Drones have been very suited for rapidly observing and creating high resolution and proving if there are areas and deep search. Access to satellites has to be simplified. This is one of the largest problems which has been, is that it's difficult to know what to order, when to order it, and what satellite. There is so many variations of this. So having a coloring book, I call it, basically, with images to see this you can order at that time is, as has been said before, a very important part. And then also knowing what to prioritize when. Having them as different layers, having information, always this situational awareness, live video mapping, as everyone has been doing. These are all very important parts, and well done to those who have managed to integrate it. But having the large, as was also said, having one large situation from all the systems, that's what we have seen as a next step from any part. Also being able to search, for example, in the search and rescue with one of our tests that we had, where the incident commander got to know that the person had a blue jacket and not a t-shirt. He could then search in the system, ask the AI agent for blue jacket, and any blue jackets would pop up at timestamp and area. I see my time is running out, so I'll just go quickly. And basically, the findings is that we need more information and more training data. We have also set up our own systems to have closed off, and that is one of the parts. I heard that China was talked about earlier. We have the military as well as customers, so they want to have it all closed off, and that's a very important part to remember and realize, is what is it you are sending live and how, because some of the images should not be open to the public. Yeah, and then that everyone has the same situational awareness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicolas, so for presenting the different example that you have shown. So it was really interesting to see the exercise with the ESA, the project which is further developing. I think it will be very inspiring for all participants. I would like then now to go to the next part, which is the discussion, the wrap up and the discussion. So I would like that every panelist, every participant of today open their videos, their cameras, so that we can see them. And for the moment in the Q&A part of the webinar, we had first some remarks from Galia Toteva Terzieva from Slovakia, who was addressing some remarks to the presentation of Martin, explaining or asking who will operate the system that has been presented. Maybe the question can be addressed by Martin, but I think by any of you, my impression is that using drones for emergency requires a lot of preparation, a lot of training, and that not only the drone, the person driving the drones or flying the drone need to be prepared, but there is a global ecosystem that need to be well coordinated. How can we improve this coordination and make that it becomes easier to fly drones to save life? Who wants to take this question? Niklas or Martin? Yeah, Niklas.
Let's see. I can at least start with the situation, which is if you do need help from other countries, which large crisis events need often, having cross-border is not always as easy as the EASA, sorry, too many. As a dyslexic, that's a problem. But yeah, for the regulations to get over cross-bordering, it's set up, it's there, and it's getting there. And also going into how aviation has been doing it, and that we are integrating into that and managing to try to make it more possible for cross-border and access and knowledge.
Yeah, I think the interoperability and the communication and the use in other skies is require even more preparation. Any other comments or remarks from the speakers? There was one remark from a representative from DronePix who was asking if anyone have tried the quantum system Mosaic US platform for multi-domain robotic mission control. So I seen Martin, you raise your hand. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Oliver. Do you hear me? Is it okay?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Regarding the first question, in the Czech Republic, we are owners of the drones, the fire rescue services. The reason is that we know about that one or two regions has that private company who provides the service for them. But I think that some main goal for the future and using drones in Moravian Silesian region and also on national level is that every unit will be able to set up the drone at the scene and at the place where they are fighting. So sometimes we have to compare the price for that service, if it's more expensive or not to provide that service by our own system or by private. And also, if we would like to have a unique national system for supporting HAWK system, which we support in the Czech Republic, if it's possible to cooperate also with private companies. I think that yes, but it depends if fire rescue service has an idea to provide that by themselves and accept the price for purchasing the drones, or they would like to provide that service by another company. So I think that both of that ways is possible.
Yes, thank you very much for this remark. Yes, I see Nicolas has raised his hand. Maybe to a short comment on this part, and Jakub.
Short comment on Martin. I agree fully. We see that very much in Norway as well, with that the operators should be blue light or emergency responders. That's we train them up, and that it's especially if they are going to be doing blue light drone flights, it's important. It becomes a bit like the Armageddon movie where you send diggers up to become astronauts. You have to pick which one you teach them to become. So I agree fully there.
Thank you. Jakub, some comments as well?
Well, maybe before we move to Armageddon mode, I really think it's worth to look at the terrestrial analogy. Look, for example, at the ambulance system in most of the countries. It's not many that we have the national public, well, public sometimes they are, but many ambulances are actually belonging to the commercial companies. So, and we still have them, the blue lights, the priority, they are part of the system. So I think thinking in the flexible way, we should take into account the drones which are privately owned, however, operating under a specific ecosystem and the specific rules. And then they can be, of course, with the proper training and supervision, they can be given a blue light status.
I see. Yeah. So the analogy is very meaningful. So thank you for sharing this idea. I am looking at the time because we have announced we will remain within 1 hour and 15 minutes. We are beyond schedule. Any further question or I mean any further comments, remarks that you would like to share with the participants who have attended this webinar? Nothing special. So then I would like that we wrap up, and of course this webinar can be seen later as replay. The contact of the different participants are either available in the presentation, or you can reach reach the organizers, Bastien, Kaya, or myself, so that we can forward the question and connect the different participants. I see another question just before closing. Martin, how do you have organized a contract with private drone operator? And this will be the last question, and then I will close. The question is, how do you have organized a contract with a private drone operator? Does it require a lot of preparation, energy?
Yeah, thank you for that, Oliver, again. If we prepare our guys, this is the part of their shift, and they have possibility to train, to be in the contact with colleagues who are pilots in their time, and this is the continual system to take a responsibility of that, and have also support of colleagues who are responsible before and train well in that. With private companies, that's the another way. We don't have the same in fire rescue service in Moravian Silesian region, but another one region has this possibility, and this is the contract between organization part of the Czech Republic and also private company, and there are also written the exact procedures which are necessary to respect. For me, it should be a little bit precised and prepare for the real deployment of that, and that fire rescue service should be able to describe how should the drone support that team which is deployed at the scene. It means that if there is a fire, that should be written what is the necessary to do during that fire. That is thermal camera, RGB, or there is some scanning or 3D visualization. Instead of, if we are working on missing persons, it's different one, and also precisely written procedure for that
what is
preparation. And for me, it's a little bit different if you train with private company and would like to have 24 24/7 service, non-stop service, when we provide the drones by our own forces. So a little bit different cooperation, because this training with private company should be also continual and very hard and close. On the other side, if you have a provider, private provider for that, I think that sometimes there is higher level of people with responsibility for IT and possibility to gain the new technology for that service. So if I compare that, we are a little bit sometimes aware about that, if we have the actual technology, how we can provide that, how we can purchase that. And the purchasing of the system takes time, but private company can be better in that if there is some new module or some new knowledge or some new possibility to provide a new technology by the private company, it can be faster. So for me, there are possible both of these possibilities to support fire rescue service, but the most important for me is that the chief fire officer should be responsible for that if he provides that by their own forces, or try to write a cooperation with private company. Sometimes it can also depends how often do you use that, because if you use the drones as so much as we, it could be very expensive to provide it by private company, because they have to pay their persons whole time, not only that time that they are at the scene. So sometimes it's a little bit about details and think about how often do you use that system for fire rescue service.
Thank you very much for this experience and this testimony. So I hope really that it was very informative and very useful for all participants to listen to you, to see the experience of the use of drone in many situations. Thank you to all presenters, to all speakers. It was very interesting. And thank you for the participants who stay up to the end of this webinar. I wish you a nice weekend, and see you next time for the next topics on the DIREKTION channel. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.